Hello everybody, welcome to the last sunflower update. The next time you hear from me will be on September 12th with all of the results. Aren't you excited to see what's happening? I want to begin today with another sunshine song. This was a favorite of mine when I was a little girl, and we would be driving somewhere in the car and my mom would get my brother and sister and I to start singing. My dad would add a descant to this song, and I always thought that made the song sound so special. Brings back lovely memories of my dad. Anyways, I had to change a few words to fit with the theme, but here it goes. It's "You are my sunshine," and think of this as the S-O-N, sunshine. You are my sunshine, my blessed sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray or smoky. You always love me, and when for always you give me hope and joy every day. Oh, that was fun. Now, I've been doing some wondering. How have your sunflowers been doing this? It's been quite the summer. We had all that heat and then, all this smoke. My goodness. Well, let's take a trip outside to my front yard and see how my sunflowers have been doing.
As I stand in my front yard looking towards my house, is there anything that catches your eye? Did you see my sunflowers? They sure have been catching people's eyes as they walk by. If I am out in my front yard watering my flowers, there's the sun coming up, so it's kind of bright. I have had many passers-by ask me about them. It's been great. It has given me the opportunity to talk about my church. Well, let's take a closer look at these sunflowers of mine.
As you know, sunflowers are sun followers. But these poor sunflowers, it has been so smoky for so many weeks, they haven't had any sun to follow. They were very confused. First thing in the morning, they would be facing east, just waiting for those first rays of sun to appear, but they never did. It seemed like they didn't quite know what to do during the day. Well, once a sunflower's head has been fully developed, then they just stay facing east. But these two big guys were staying facing east way before their heads were developed. Yeah, they were confused. They just didn't know what to do. It was like they were saying, I know the sun is there somewhere, so I'm just going to wait here and wait for it. This fellow here was the third sunflower to poke its way out of the ground. He was going great guns, catching up and almost passing my big fellow over there. But I think not seeing the sun kind of got him depressed. Doesn't he look sad? He was trying too hard to win that sunflower contest, but being a sun follower is hard when you can't see the sun. I gave him a little help. I tied him to this post. See, I think you can see the string there. And I think that perked him up a bit. Look what he started to do. He's not giving up. He's taking a new approach. Look at all these little shoots coming up. He heard there were many categories in this sunflower contest, so now he's trying for the most shoots coming out. Good for you, sunflower. Thanks for not giving up. Now we will take a look at my biggest sunflower. He was the first one to burst forth from the ground, and he's been going pretty strong ever since. As you can see, he's still pretty tall and straight. His head is quite large, and look at his leaves. And now look at the size of his stalk. Wow, that's thick. But I think he might have gotten a little carried away with this contest business. He's been so single-minded about winning this contest that he has forgotten to be kind to those around him. He has not been lifting his leaves during the day, and so he has completely shaded this little fellow behind him. Now look at this poor little guy. This is sunflower number 4. He was one of my transplants. He is leaning way out, trying to see the sun. He knows he's not going to win any height contest or biggest head or biggest leaves or thickest stalk, and he certainly doesn't have any extra shoots coming out. But he is determined to be a sunflower, and a sunflower is a sun follower, so I think he may win something for working so hard to try and stay faithful and seek out the sun. Good for you, sunflower number 4. You keep going. This sunflower back here, sunflower number 5, was also one of the ones that I transplanted, so he had a late start. He was not planted in a very luxurious place. He's here at the back, close to the garbage can. A lot of people don't notice him because there's all these beautiful flowers in front of him. And he wasn't very tall. He was actually quite short for the longest time. But he has been a real trooper the whole time, never complaint out of him. And look at him go. Boy, he was a late starter, but that didn't faze him. Now look at how tall he's getting. He kind of reminds me of those athletes in the Summer Olympics that were just over. Those people in the running races that didn't have a great start. They were behind everyone, but had a great kick at the end and bypassed everyone. That looks to me like what he's doing. Go for it, sunflower number 5. You have a couple weeks left. And now we come to my last sunflower. This one really took me by surprise. He was the second sunflower to poke out of the ground, but he has not been a fast grower. He got way behind my first and third sunflower, and he was not a transplant either like those other two, although he kind of looks like sunflower number 4 and 5. Yeah, he doesn't look like sunflower 3 and 1 at all. It's kind of hard to believe they all came out of the same package. Anyways, he has just been taking his time, and unlike the other sunflowers, this guy never seemed confused. Regardless of the smoke and no sun in the sky, his leaves would lift up every day and his head would turn. It's like, I can't see you, sun, but I know you're there, so I'm just going to keep doing what a sunflower is supposed to do. I think this one is kind of my favorite. I think he kind of looks happy. Well, growing these sunflowers has been so much fun, and they have so many interesting lessons to teach us. What did I learn from sunflower number 3 as an S-O-N sun follower? What I learned was sometimes it can be hard to see Jesus. Life can be difficult and we wonder where Jesus is, and we can get very sad. But then I remember back to when Jesus ascended to heaven. As he was leaving, he said, I will be with you always. And sometimes the path we think we should be on isn't the right one, so we need to try something else. Sunflower number 1 taught me that it is good to stay focused on following Jesus, but don't let our focus make us blind to what is happening around us. One of the ways to be a sun follower, as we learned in a previous update, is to serve others. It is certainly not to block others from seeing the sun, from seeing Jesus. Sunflower number 4 reminded me to do whatever I need to do to search out Jesus. Sunflower number 5 taught me that I can have joy and hope no matter what my life circumstances. And if my start isn't so good, staying focused on Jesus can give me the boost I need to charge on. Sunflower number 2, he makes me smile just looking at him. To me, he just looks happy, as I mentioned before. He is content, he is following the sun, and he's not worried about achieving any greatness. No matter who we are, in God's eyes, we are all great. Well, thanks, sunflowers. You are great sun followers, and you have helped me to be an S-O-N sun follower too. Let's take a look at Uta and Michael's sunflowers. As well as showing us their sunflowers for the contest, Uta also shares with us how the bees and the goldfinches are enjoying their sunflowers.
So here is our contest sunflower with Michael standing beside it so you can get a sense of how tall it's grown. I think this is as tall as it's going to get. As you can see, it has developed a really, really large head. All the petals have fallen off and the seeds are starting to form. The interesting thing about this sunflower is that while the rest seem to look at the sun, this seemed to like the reflection that came off the wall of our house. So here is our other sunflower. You might remember that this is the one that was so sick in the last video. I took off the diseased leaves and it seemed quite happy after that. It hasn't grown as tall as the others, but it's developed this absolutely beautiful head with its sunflower blossom, and it'll have some lovely seeds for the birds. This is what we plant our sunflowers for the birds, and the insects, and living things.
I am very grateful to Michael because he researched a lot of information about sunflowers. If you go to our Kids Corner on our website, you will see an attachment there called Sunflower Info. And you can read all the interesting things that Michael found. Now we will take a look at Trudy's sunflowers. They sure have done well. I will also point out something to take note of. When you see Trudy's tallest sunflower, look how it's standing so tall and straight. Not even the head is bending over. I'm just amazed with that. Anyways, here are Trudy's sunflowers.
So I am here with Trudy with her amazing sunflowers. Look at how that tall one is towering over her, and what Trudy is holding on to is that little one that she never ever gave up on, and it's also ready to develop its blossom. It's as tall as she is. It's going to go up and take a look at each one of the heads of these sunflowers. That one is really reaching for the sun. I'm thinking that's probably at least 10 or 12 feet tall. There's this one just above Trudy's head.
You don't want to break the camera.
No way. And another head and one more beautiful head. Lots and lots of seeds. Trudy says she's looking forward to the birds coming.
Now we will check in with Joel's sunflowers.
There they are. They finally outgrown the raspberries.
I love seeing Joel's sunflowers because I like seeing his chickens. Now I have a special treat for you. It's from Barb. She sent in a photo of her sunflower, and you won't believe it till you see it. At the end of the season, when I pull my sunflowers out, I'm always amazed at the size of the root ball that they have. So I'm looking at Barb's sunflower and I'm wondering, your root ball must be filling up your whole pot. I don't know how the other flowers can even grow in there. Barb labeled her sunflower tall and lanky. And a funny thing happened this morning. You know how Facebook will show you pictures that you've posted before? Well, one showed up this morning from one I took 4 years ago, and I just had to show it to you. I know this is not part of the contest, and they were a different seed packet, but look at the height of these sunflowers. I would have won for sure. There's just one more photo I have to share with you. It's not part of the contest. It's from our neighbors around the corner. I was going for a walk this morning and I thought, wow, look at that sunflower. They have it really tied up so it won't fall over too. It's amazing when I show you. You can see, look how high it is and look at those ropes that are holding it up. Anyways, here's my neighbor's sunflower. So here are our final instructions for you sunflower growers. On September 1st, take measurements of your sunflowers. I think we will have many categories. Let's see, we can have a category for the tallest, for the biggest head, for the widest leaves, for the thickest stem, for the most offshoots, those secondary flowers that are coming out, for the most leaves, for the shortest, the most unique looking sunflower, and the most unique place the sunflower was planted. And I think we need to have some categories for the personality of these sunflowers. Maybe the happiest sunflower, the kindest sunflower, the sunflower that overcame the most odds in order to survive. And when you look at your sunflowers and you think of some category that you think that they might fit in, just let me know. Have fun being creative. And speaking of being creative, I'm looking forward to seeing some crafty homemade sunflowers. If you are not going to be home on September 1st, then you can take your measurements prior to that date, but not after. And please send me photos standing beside your sunflowers showing whatever category they are entered in. I will be announcing the winners of the various categories in our worship service on September 12th. And for those kids who have been making sunflowers, please send me your photos on September 1st as well. And I invite you to bring your homemade sunflowers along to church on September 12th, if you wish. Okay, kids, before I close, since this is the last update for the summer, I thought I would read you a book that I've been reading to my granddaughter. It's called Thank You, God. Thank you for my teddy bear. Thank you for the clothes I wear. Thank you for the sky so blue. Thank you for my fun toys too. Thank you for my dog named Pete. Thank you for good food to eat. And you may have a different pet. Your pet may not be called Pete, but I bet you are thankful for whatever pet you have. Thank you for good books to read. Thank you, God, for everything. I wanted to read you this book because that's what the sunflowers make me feel. They make me feel very thankful to God. I'm going to close with my sunshine song again. You are my sunshine, my blessed sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray or smoky. You always love me, now and always. You give me hope and joy every day. Yes, Jesus, our blessed sunshine, does indeed give us hope and joy every day. Bye-bye for now.